Hi guys, today I got my first ever epilator, and for those of you who don't know what that is, they tend to look kind of something like this, and they've got these bits that go around and they are kind of like tweezers, so they pluck your hair out of wherever, and it's not plugged in right now, but they move around, and then so they're basically just really quickly plucking out your hairs. So this is my first impression. The one that I got is the Philips Satinelle Soft Epilator, which, you know, looks like this. I bought mine from Amazon. I got the free delivery, which said it would take 3 to 5 days, 3 to 5 working days, and I got mine on the soonest day that it said. Yeah, so I ordered it Tuesday, and today's Friday, and I got it. So that's pretty cool. They all came all nicely packaged up. And the first thing I saw was this, and I thought these were the instructions, and I was like, what the hell? Because pictures are fine as long as they're accompanied by words, because if they're not, like myself, I've never used an epilator before, so I was kind of looking at it like, what? You come with instructions, and they're here, and they're in a load of different languages which I can't bother to open, and it also tells you what you should have in the kit, and then it tells you what each thing is for, how to clean it, how to use it and stuff like that. And it also has, well, it says register for the optimal experience for the Philips thing. It has a 2-year warranty and a love it or your money back, so it has a returns policy, so if you don't like it after 90 days you can return it, which I think is really good, because one of the main concerns for me was that I wouldn't be able to handle the pain, because my friend, I remember I was talking to my friend about getting one before, and she was like, I got one and I had to send it back because it hurt me so much, and I was like, oh god. But then it's good that you can return it, because otherwise you have this expensive product which causes you pain and you're never going to use. This one, the one at the time that I bought it, it cost about £30. When I first saw it, it was actually 20, and I nearly bought it and I didn't, and I hesitated, and then it went back up in price. The actual retail price is something like £50, I can't remember exactly, so I kind of bought it while it's kind of at its lowest at the moment, and for an epilator that's really good, because you can spend up to like £100–200 on an epilator. I can understand why though, well maybe not why that much, but these things, I imagine the more expensive ones have more of these things, so you can kind of do it quicker and they'll get more hairs as you go along. So the things that came in it actually came with a shaving option which has a little cap on it. I used that for my armpit while I tried it, and it was that was rubbish. It has this thing to go over the shaving thing as well, and that's supposed to lift up hair, but really my hair is never going to be long enough to like fit through them, so I don't really know who that's aimed at, but I don't understand why you wouldn't just get a razor rather than an electric shaver, but that's not why I bought it, so I'm not too fussed about that. So the actual epilator, this thing attached to it is the epilator, and this thing slides off so that you can attach the shaving thing and so that you can clean this. This particular epilator you cannot use in water, which I don't mind too much, because now I've done it I kind of think if I was like in a shower or something I would have so much difficulty, maybe in a bath. But I'm not too bothered about it not being in water, but that might be something that you want. So you take it out completely and you rinse this, as well as you get this little brush. So you can kind of, any hairs that are kind of poking out here, you can get in there and poke them all out. It also has this little device which you can click onto it, and what you're meant to do is you put it at a right angle, and the bit with the on and off switch is meant to be facing you, or facing the opposite direction of the hair growth, if that makes any sense. So if this was my leg, my hair grows that way, so I would point this way. You get it? So you go up it, and then these bits are supposed to help lift up the hair, and this bit rolls and it's supposed to massage it. Now I did try and use this. I used this at first because I've never epilated before, so I figured I didn't know if it would hurt me, so if it did then this is kind of something that's meant to prevent it. I actually read on a review that this thing is kind of pointless and it made them take like 10 times longer or something like that, so after a while I figured it wasn't really hurting me that much, so I took it off and I stopped using it. However, when I did switch over to the other leg, which is the leg that I filmed, which you'll see in a minute, that particular area hurt a bit more than the rest of my legs, and I guess it's because on the other leg I used this, and on the leg that I showed you I didn't. I'm sorry if this doesn't make sense. This particular one has 2 settings and it just slides up. When you're using the shaver thing, it only has the first setting. It won't let you go any higher. It says you're supposed to generally use the second setting, except for maybe in more sensitive areas or areas that are smaller, say like your ankles or your knees or whatever. The actual thing itself is not a shaving plug, which some people might find that a bonus, some people might not like that. I've just got a normal one. This is a standard English plug for those who aren't aware of that. So it's got this which connects into here and it just clips in. I don't actually know if you can charge this or not. When I was reading the reviews of this particular epilator, the certain things were things like the pain, which I think comes with any epilator. People found they had to go over areas a certain amount of time, and also a lot of people wanted there to be a bag. Now mine actually came with a little pouch thing. It's actually advertised there, a storage pouch. People have also said they find it quite noisy. I think that it was kind of the loudness that I expected. Okay, so when you see me using this, you see me using it without this head, and it's just on my leg, and it's not very long, it's just so you can kind of get an idea. Okay, so my thoughts on the product. So far, I quite like it. What you're supposed to do is firstly wash yourself. So I just washed my legs. I exfoliated so I can get rid of any dead skin or anything like that. I also haven't shaved in a couple of days, but I do have those hairs, you know, that are in between like not being there and being able to be shaved, you know, and that you can feel them but you can't get them. I've got quite a few of those hairs which haven't been removed by the epilator, so I'm going to kind of try and wait about 3 days or so and see if it will help and see if the epilator will be able to remove it. It actually claims to be able to remove hairs from 0.5mm, and I think these are probably a bit smaller than that. I don't blame the epilator for that personally. You're also supposed to do this at night time because it can be quite irritating to the skin, and after you've done it you're supposed to moisturise. Obviously right now is not night time. I kind of got it and I immediately wanted to use it, but I do have a couple of red dots all over my legs. My legs do just look irritated. I can't feel anything. Afterwards they felt maybe a bit tingly, but now about 45 minutes later they just feel normal and they just look a bit, you know, irritated, but nothing awful. Okay, so for first impressions, I do think that is all I have to say. If I do keep the product, which I am intending to at the moment, I'll probably make another full review of this in about a month or so, when I've kind of had it for a bit longer and, you know, got a better idea of it. But today I've only had it literally for a few hours, and that is my initial review. So far I do really like it. I don't think it hurts that much, and that is completely individual. A lot of people find epilators the most horrifically painful experience of their whole entire life. Personally, I thought it just felt a bit tingly. Maybe I have a high pain tolerance and I've never really noticed. Yeah, I thought it was fine. The shaver attachment for me, I don't really get it. Maybe I might get it after a while. I might use it in certain areas and find that it's really good. But at the moment, I didn't buy it for that anyway, so I'm not really that bothered. But so far it didn't really do an effective use of shaving my armpits. I just went and got a razor and it was a whole lot easier and quicker. That is all I have to say at the moment. Hopefully you'll see me again in a month or so with a follow-up to this. If you have any questions, don't be shy, leave them down below, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!